What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video and welcome to the Monday Kickoff. As usual, guys, in today's video, we're gonna have a full breakdown of all of the events coming to Raid Shadow Legends this week. And oh boy, we have quite a few things happening, including a new fusion, everyone's favorite game mode starting in 19 hours, which is clan versus clan. We're gonna have the community trivia dungeon event as well. We have a brand new promo code. We have summoning events starting tomorrow, so we're gonna have a pretty busy schedule. Plus, we have 2x on some dungeons, on gear drops, etc. Tons of things actually happening, but let's open directly with the promo code. And I do want to mention one thing, guys. Probably by now, the majority of you guys already saw the teasers from PLARIUM related to the trivia dungeon event. It's going to be me, it's going to be Napkex, it's going to be Deadwood Jedi, it's going to be YST, and we're all going to fight for something in there, okay? So you're gonna have to basically make sure that you're putting it in your schedule. 8th of May, I'm not sure exactly at what time just yet, but put it in your calendar and come and watch it on the official Raid Shadow Legends channel. Leaving all that on the side, we got the Wand of Submission as well yesterday, guys. Probably for a lot of you guys, this might be the very first legendary relic. It is aimed more towards PvP, but in some cases, you can use it in PvE if you're going versus enemies that do a lot of crowd control, right? So mainly is a PvP relic. You want to equip it either on damage dealers, either on champions that debuff, so they have a chance to basically reflect back polymorph or other nasty debuffs like that. This came to an end. You can summon your champion, of course, tomorrow during CVC. This is a PR CVC with personal rewards. So we're going to be able to basically cash in on some extra rewards, which are, of course, materials for relics. You gotta get lucky to get a good relic from there. We have quite a few decent clan relics actually, so yeah, may the best clan win it. Then I just want to give you guys a quick reminder, if you haven't completed any of your clan quests just yet, seems like I haven't even picked any of them this week because I was away, make sure you guys actually do it before the reset. We have like 18 hours left. I'm gonna have to basically check what I can pick from here quick to complete it as well. If you gotta purchase anything from the clan shop as well, make sure you guys do it. We don't have too many goodies this time around, but maybe you might want to pick up the silver or the charms, the XP boost or something like that. Talking about the bazaar, pretty much the same story. This is of course different for every single person. Like for me, I still have 3 days left to pick up the energy and the ancient shard. I'm gonna try to get a void shard probably tomorrow because I'll be doing a lot of tag team arena. And I just saw a 6-star legendary piece of gear here. Let me just quickly check it. No speed, so I'm not going to waste 5 million silver to get it. I just quickly wanna go over the fusion calendar, guys. Then we're gonna talk about the summoning events and everything else. We have a lot on the table. The Fusion Champion, I personally think he's kind of like a mid-tier damage dealer. I don't think he's amazing for any particular content, especially for Arena. I will get a Fusion. Maybe he is going to be pretty important for Faction Wars. As they've mentioned in their What's Next in Raid video, we're going to have conditions on the Faction War stages. Now, I'm not sure if is going to be needed in there. Maybe he's not going to be useful at all in Faction Wars hard mode because of the debuffs and all that. But that's mainly the reason why I'm going to try and get him. If by any chance he turns out not to be good in there, you can always use the fragments for a mod, right? And get some more fragments for that legendary champion. But we're going to have exactly 130 fragments. To be specific, 110 fragments because 20 are tournament leaderboards rewards, which is something pretty hard to get. That means that most likely we're gonna have to basically complete or take part in both of the summoning events, including the Summon Rush, which will give us 15 fragments, and the Champion Chase Tournament, which will give us 15. Now, most likely they will be spread 5-10, 5-10, so we won't have to complete all of the milestones because we can skip 10 10 fragments. I'm not 100% sure how high will be the requirement for the fragments, to be honest, but usually the champion chase tournament tends to be a bit easier. And if I'm not mistaken, we should have a 2x on voids or sacred shards when we have the champion chase tournament. Either way, I'm not gonna go every single one of the events, guys. You can actually have a look at the calendar right here. I'm quickly gonna make myself invisible. I'm gonna put a perfect veil for a second so you guys can have a look, just in case if you haven't picked it up from their official Discord. Then we do have some stats right here, basically for the community awards, community event sort of thing. They're kind of like showing us a few things, general things. Seems like we have the option to check personal things as well, and I'm gonna do that as well. That's something that I actually haven't noticed only now. If we're gonna have a look at the most banned champions, we see the Arbiter and Wukong. Platinum Arena winners, we had 18. A few of them clanmates of mine. Pretty hard to win Platinum Arena nowadays, guys. So many mega Krakens with +4 mythicals, 6-star empowerment. Then, total active clans. We have 32,000 clans in the game. Spent tons and tons of gold. Hydra. We decapitated a lot of Hydra heads. In the Chimera, the most used champions is Lydia and Ninja. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest, because they're both free-ish champions, right? And both very, very good for the Chimera. In the Siege, we only have these clans that won every single one of them. It's pretty hard to make that happen as well, because you can make a draw. If you're being matchmade versus a crazy clan, you're gonna get wrecked. So that's actually interesting to see that we actually have 18, which is a good number in my opinion. Most crafted legendary relic, the Cat's Gaze. I still haven't got one from crafting it. Only 2,843 mythical relics were crafted so far, guys. That is actually a pretty low number considering how many players we actually have in the game. What really blows my mind is this. Curse City. Players who have cleared every stage on Hard Curse City each month. Only 47 players in total. I would assume from day one all the way to today. Okay? Only 47 players. Now, I personally missed a couple of stages on the second rotation, if I remember it correctly, or the third rotation. So, I'm not in the 47. Probably I'll be on the 48 because I've missed a couple of stages only. But that is a very small number. Considering how many Kraken's wells we have in the game, that just shows that people don't really give a damn after they get Carnage, right? They're like careless. They don't care about Curse City whatsoever. Champion fusions, Mikage, 100,000 people fused Lady Mikage. High Mother mod, 14,000 only. That's definitely much harder. The most fused champion seems to be Thor Feyhammer. Actually a pretty solid champion, so I'm not surprised to see that at all. And personal, let's see if I can actually find out what I've done myself, right? So where is the ID and what is my name? Kung Fu Mata. Let me just quickly go back at that. So ID, and we have Kung Fu Mata. View your stats. So I've been slacking in Arena. I've been slacking a bit on the clan boss as well. To be honest, I haven't really went crazy on farming any of the gear and stuff. I'm surprised that they're not actually giving us more info right here. Like, we have some dungeons cleared, artifacts obtained, clan bosses, and that's about it, to be honest. That's about it. Considering that in the past they used to make videos, this feels pretty underwhelming. It doesn't seem like we have any Sandoval Necropolis tournament at the moment, unless they're going to pop in one tomorrow. And I said we're going to go to do the promo code, and I've just realized that we haven't done it. Apologies, guys. We're supposed to do that at the beginning. The promo code is Trivia Dungeon. Let's actually see what we're getting from here. I just realized that I went on the screen and I haven't actually entered the promo code. Oh. Oh! Where is my energy? No energy, no gems. This is such a weak-ass promo code. My freaking god. Now, I don't even... I forget that I said that I forgot to use the promo code, because is just not good. It's just not good. Either way, if you're planning to go for the fusion, guys, you have tons of events to basically engage with. We have a champion training that started. The fusion warm-up is still going on for a little bit. The dungeon diver event starts tomorrow. The community week titan event is coming to an end tomorrow as well. In terms of tournaments, we have the dragon tournament, a classic arena takedown, which will end in 20 hours and has nothing to do with the fusion. Let's quickly talk about summoning events, guys. As I've mentioned, we actually have quite a few things. I'm not really expecting a patch, an update this week, to be honest. I have a feeling that it will only happen next week, and that's when we're going to get the new Faction Wars hard mode. At least, based on what I've seen from the roadmap, that should be kind of like the main thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what changes that actually brings to the game. Very curious to see how powerful that mythical champion will be, how the glyph rarity will work, etc. So we actually have quite a few interesting things, plus new relics coming as well. But let's quickly talk about the champions, guys. So I'm quickly gonna take a screenshot as well, just in case if you're lazy and you can't be bothered to watch the entire video, because we're gonna have a quick word about each one of the champions. So that's what we have on the list right here, guys. As you can probably see it, you can pause it, do whatever you might feel like, and basically check out the champions. There are some pretty nasty champions on the list. I actually want to get quite a few of them, but to be honest, I am not going to summon during the CVC, because if I'm planning to go for the fusion, I will need to have my shards saved up for the weekend. I might open my 4 voids because Cena is on the list. First, we have the Cheshire Cat, guys. Absolutely solid for a damage dealer, like crazy good damage, speed aura in all battles. The damage is based on attack and speed, so when you're building this champion, you want to ensure that you have a decent speed on the champion next to the attack and the crit damage. The faster the better, of course, because that will benefit the champion not only in terms of damage. In terms of builds, it really depends where you're planning to use it. Either a Merciless, either you're going with Savage plus Stone Skin if you're trying to use the champion in arena. It does have a pretty interesting passive as well with the block damage, which I really like. I like that he self-buffs. Pretty damn good damage, especially if you're using him in the siege mode with restrictions for the demon spawns and stuff. He can really catch you off guard. Then we have Arashi the Riptide, which, I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot the faction. So I'm gonna have to do a bit of a research in here, because I really don't remember the faction for that champion. Arashi Shadowkin. This is the one. I just instantly remembered it. His damage kind of sucks as well. I was really not impressed with his potential overall. Good speed aura for arena. Perfect Veil, increased crit damage. If I remember it correctly, he does ignore Stone Skin, but the damage was really weak. Like, he was not doing enough damage to actually kill any of the tankier targets and stuff like this. It is good to take down an enemy nuker if it's not a defense based or something like that, but other than that, he feels really underwhelming in terms of what damage output he has. Now, if you have him and you are looking to build him, of course you want to give him Savage or Merciless, Stone Skin plus Savage / Lethal, anything that can actually make him ignore more defense, but really not a very powerful champion. Then we have Sea Ash Arrow. I'm going to skip pronouncing the first part because I'm always butchering it. This is a champion that I would actually like to get. From this list, most likely my most wanted is actually the Cheshire Cat as a non-void, and as a void, most likely Chalco the Blind, which is a really good one too. You can use him in live arena versus Ardmans. Now, if the enemy is smart enough, he's not going to use the A2 on Ardmans, which will make him pretty useless in live arena. He can ban him. For classic arena, on the other hand, where Ardmans basically is just going to be doing whatever the AI is doing, and that is opening with A2. He's actually really good, because the passive will proc. You can kill Ardmans. Maybe you can even kill some of the other enemies as well, if they're not covered in a Stone Skin, right? Pretty good damage from this champion. I actually like him. Builds as well. Savage, Lethal, Merciless, Stone Skin plus one of the following, you know, to kind of like try and keep him alive. The thing with Stone Skin as well is kind of like bad, because you want him to drop that thermometer so the passive actually procs. So Stone Skin might not necessarily be the best thing to get on this champion. Moving on to the next one, we have Mortu Makab. Once upon a time, he used to be a freaking goat. To be honest, he's kind of weak for high-end content right now. Yes, you can still use him in live arena, but he has tons of different counters, because we are in a meta where you can actually strip buffs, do a lot of crowd controlling, etc. The peril skill is still really strong. You can build him on a 2-turn Stone Skin, for example. Give him a Lightning Cage Blessing to try and basically avoid having the enemy to strip it. I don't think you really want to build him extremely slow like in the old meta, because he's going to get overlapped so much that eventually he's going to lose that buff if the enemy has a couple of champions that can strip it or something like that. So you do want to give him a bit of speed now. You don't want to have him that slow, and that's about it. But he's still very useful in tag team arena progression-wise. In the lower tiers of arena, if the RNG procs, especially if you're going versus targets that have a lot of AoE attacks, you know, he's still doing a pretty decent job. Moving on to the next champion, we have Bells the Reckoner. I think he was guaranteed in a deck of 8 or something like that, right? Oh, wait, I clicked on the wrong faction. I'm supposed to click on the Orcs. I actually summoned mine during CVC a couple of weeks ago. I still haven't built him. Decentish damage. You have the leech, you have the block buffs. Not bad whatsoever. But personally, I prefer using Ugo, the epic champion, over him as a block buff champion. It brings me defense down. It brings leech on the A1, a bit of a cleanse, a bit of healing with a A3, and then I can bring in a different champion to give me the weaken and basically create a better synergy, right? Best build for him as well, if you can, Merciless. If not, Savage, Lethal. He is a HP-based champion, so you don't want to prioritize attack on this one. Moving on to the voids, guys, we have Chalo the Blind. I actually really like this champion. I would freaking love to get him, to be honest. Crazy good damage, and he has a very nice skill, very nice passive that counters Taras, because he puts fear on himself or other champions that land those crowd control debuffs with the block passive skills, the defense down, spreading the debuffs, you know. The A3 being really good as well, pretty solid damage. A1 not bad at all. The passive is pretty nice, as I've mentioned. Savage plus Stone Skin, Lethal plus Stone Skin. He is more of a PvP champion, but he can be used in PvE content as well. For example, in the Hydra clan boss, if you're bringing in a champion that debuffs, defense down, weaken, decrease attack, HP burn, like take, for example, Raiho Bone Spear, or take Ruela, the epic champion. You can spread all of the debuffs with him on all of the targets, which is really good. I think we only have 2 champions at the moment in the entire game that can actually do that. So overall, Chalo is definitely a pretty nice champion. Then we have Georg the Breaker. Still an extremely hard hitter with this skill. Ignore strength and Stone Skin. Everything known by humankind, basically. The extra turn if you kill an enemy, moving into the AoE, putting unkillable on himself, dropping the thermometer. He's a bit of an RNG fast, of course, with the passive, because he's not 100% chance to ignore that defense. When it procs, my god, he hits extremely hard. Pretty solid for live arena. I feel like he lost a lot of value in terms of PvP, and not because he doesn't deal damage. It's just mainly because the meta shifted so much nowadays that more people try to lean towards tankier nukers, etc., that actually bring some other things to the table. But he's a massive threat. Like, if you get to move before the enemy with Georg, you're kind of like guaranteed to clap a couple of enemies. So best build for him, either you're going with Stone Skin, Savage, Lethal, either you're going with Merciless and you're using a Necret to protect him, to keep him alive, basically, because you do need somebody to keep him alive. Then we have Khan Branchbreaker. I think he's another orc as well, right? He was guaranteed in a deck of 8 as well. He was dealing decent damage, but very hard to kind of like make him work with the counterattacks, if I remember it correctly. Or actually, no, he needed a shield to deal the big damage. Sorry, not the counterattacks. He needed the shields to deal the big damage. So he needs a bit of a setup. If you can set him up, he's gonna deal decent damage. If not, it's a bit harder to kind of like make the most out of him. But he does have a nice block revive on the A1. Defense-based champion, which is tankier. Void Affinity, which is nice. But as I've mentioned, he needs a bit of setup. He needs maybe a Necrotin bolster or a different champion that can put in a bolster so you have directly a shield on. If not, he's going to put the shield, counterattack, but he's not going to attack with this, right? And he's going to lose the Stone Skin buff if you're going to give one. And it's kind of like, well, inviting the enemy to kill him, you know? Moving on to the next one. On Wednesday, another 15x progressive chance, giving you the chance to summon the champions of your dreams from Ancient, Primal, Sacred, and Void Shards. Grand Oak Padrake. Pretty damn solid ally attack champion. Good for the Fire Knight. Can be good for the Chimera. Can be good in the Hydra. Good in Arena as well. A lot of people are actually using him in a high-end live arena. The Speed Aura is only for dungeons, though. You have a chance to decrease the cooldown of a random ally skill. Teams up, continuous heals, restores the max HP. Turn meter, cleanse, increase speed. Very nice passive that buffs. So either you're building him with Relentless, with Reflex, with Impulse. Those are kind of like the best options for the champion. Or you can go full speed if you just want to use him for arena. Protection is not a bad option either because you are getting quite a few buffs from him too. So 9-piece protection can actually work. Then we have Stock the Broken. Stock the Broken. I think he's an Ogre in Tribes, right? He was a fusion not a very long time ago. Okay, so he's not an Ogre in Tribes. He must be Wait, man. What's his faction? Wasn't he an Ogre? And maybe I was just blind. Stock, yeah, I was just blind. Apologies. He's actually pretty decent. I like the passive the most because you can basically do some niche arena strategies versus Marichka with him. Other than that, activates poisons, HP burn. I just wish that he would bring HP burn to the table as well. If he would land HP burn with this skill instead, it would have been absolutely amazing. Like, top notch. But that's the main thing that's lacking on the champion. Now, depending on where you are planning to use him, in terms of builds, once again, Relentless, Reflex can work pretty nice, you know. You could potentially just build him with Speed, Bolster, or something like that, just to kind of like help the rest of the team as well. Not a bad champion. He is niche. I had higher hopes for him, thinking that he might be very useful in the Chimera, because at the time when the fusion was released, we had no idea how was the Chimera boss actually working. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Then we have Ultimate Death Knight. Everyone's favorite champion, and everyone is considering him like one of the most annoying champions. Still pretty good. He did drop quite a bit from the arena meta finally, because he was in there for a very, very, very long time because of the passives. Crazy good passive. Overall, he can still be very useful for progression in a lot of content, dungeons, Curse City, Faction Wars, even Hydra with a Provoke, the support, Clan Boss. Definitely still a very solid champion. And I recently just pulled another one, so I made mine a +4. Builds, if you want to build him on Stone Skin, super slow for arena, that can work. Bolster plus Stone Skin with resistance, or based on whatever you might be doing with a champion, you might want to look at different types of builds for PvE content, right? Definitely not the best thing for that. But Bolster will work in pretty much both of the areas, but you do want to get some speed on him in terms of PvE, because for PvP you want to have him slow. Then we have Alsgore Crimson Horn. Is that the Bannerlord or the Sacred Order? My god, they added so many champions for the last couple of years. To be honest, it's pretty hard to remember them all, but I just remember this is the Barbarian. I'm not even sure why I was thinking of the Sacred Order or Bannerlords. I was actually confusing him with somebody else, because this is a pretty old champion now. It was added together with Jetney when she was the fusion, right? So basically, block damage, fully heals a target ally, AoE attack, continuous heals. It's nice if Jetney is on the same team. I would say the best place to use this champion is either Clan Boss, either Curse City, Faction Wars, right? In some cases, the Doom Tower as well. Definitely not a top tier champion whatsoever. If you pull him, you pull him. I still haven't really fully built mine, even though I pulled him a while ago. But yeah, he's decent-ish. Not much to tell you about a simple champion like him. Then, Bad El Kazar. Still good, to be honest. The passive is still crazy, crazy good. Cleanse, healing, poisons, more healing, the extra damage. Not as impactful in the endgame as he used to be. But progression-wise, Dragon, Ice Golem, tons of different areas, really solid. In the endgame, to be honest, I'm not really using him much. Even though I used to run Battle Kazar in pretty much most of the teams, except Fire Knight and maybe a couple of different easier dungeons, you know. Then, my most wanted Void Legendary at the moment, Cena Amberheart. The most powerful support champion for the Chimera, guys. Either you build her on 9-piece protection, either you build her on Relentless, Reflex, Impulse, either you're building her on a 9-piece, or if not 9-piece Supersonic, a few pieces of Supersonic to basically boost the turn meter on your team. But I think you need 9 for that. So, I think most of the players that do have Cena will agree and say that the best build for the Chimera is Supersonic. Pretty hard to get 9 decent pieces to get a good amount of speed on her and all that. It's all basically about the passives, the turn meter. You guys know the drill with the champion. Nobody really wanted her before the Chimera. I mean, don't get me wrong, she wasn't the worst champion or anything like that. She was good. But since the Chimera, everybody freaking wants her because she's OP in there. Then we have to Hanorach. I feel like I'm seeing to Hanorach every second week on these 15x progressive chances. Good for Hydra. Good for a lot of other PvE content. Some Doom Tower, even some dungeons if you need some support. This passive is really, really good. You have the decreased attack, the block buffs, the debuff spread, the decreased speed, increased defense, increased speed. 9-piece protection or Relentless will work just fine. Even a 9-piece Feral set on her could potentially work too, because you are bringing quite a few debuffs on the enemy. Overall, good. For Hydra, you kind of need to manual to kind of like make the most out of her. Then we have Krisk. Whenever we see Krisk on the list, we need to think that something is coming. Something bigger is coming, because they only put Krisk when some good events are coming after. So, whatever that might be next weekend or this weekend, I have no idea. But they tend to bait most of the people that want Krisk and to basically drain the shards with a Krisk event before something interesting comes. AoE decrease speed. You know the drill with Krisk. I'm not going to go over his kit because I feel like I've done that a million times. I have mine built on a cursed set. I actually have both of mine built on a cursed set for a Hydra. I feel like that is definitely a pretty good build. Cursed set plus 4-piece Merciless, cursed set plus 4-piece Slayer, cursed set plus Impulse, just to kind of like try and basically get a few funky things going on in there. Even a 9-piece protection could potentially work on the champion if you don't need to put in that cursed set to basically boost a bit of damage. Amazing for progression in pretty much most of the content. But that was pretty much everything for this video, guys. A lot to unpack. Hopefully I haven't really missed anything important. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.